Okay, good morning. Sawadee Kap. Sawati Tan Chao. Good morning to you all. Today I got a fun subject, different subject for me, because we are thinking about life in Surat, our farm in Surat, and how it's coming along, and perhaps if we'll move there very shortly, at least part time. So that's what we're going to be talking about. On the other hand, listen, it's been so hot here lately. It's been 100 degrees the last couple of days down in the south. Now I'm back, just came back. But it's been so hot down there. It's been hot here, but it's really been hot down there. And that's the one thing, is there's no ocean. There's no beach. And that kind of bums me out. There's a few things we should talk about as far as living there. But right now, I'm not sure I didn't have a chance to see what the Thai baht is to the dollar. But we're going to find out real quick. 32.1, which is not great, but listen, anything over 32, I'll take it. How's everybody doing out there? There's no comments, no nothing. I don't see anything. So I'm just going to assume you hear me. Everything is good. Good morning, good morning. Okay, good morning. People can hear me. That's good. Now, I will say that, I've been watching the dollar against the baht lately, and been watching some prices. I mean, when we were down there in the south, my wife's sister, her name is Yupa, she comes to me and she goes, "I can't believe this." And I said, "Well, what is it?" And she said, thank you. I can't believe the prices, because I just bought some bags, and last week, a little more than last week and a half or so again, the price on these bags was 35 baht for 100. Now the price on the bags is 55 baht per 100. It went up 20 baht. That's like 65%, which is crazy. We're looking at the price of gas. It's 50 baht a liter. I don't even know. It used to be under 30 baht a liter. So prices are rising. I don't care what anybody says. And they're rising because of what's going on right now, but they're also rising because that's what they do. They rise and they don't fall generally. And that's something to think about. Now, we're fine here. We're doing all right. Things are okay. Things are good. But being down in the south with everything that we ate, everything that we produced, everything that we sold, it's kind of like, why are we here? They're not very big, the plastic bags. I said to my wife, I said, we got everything we need down there. Really, I don't have to go to a coffee shop every day. Now, I did find a coffee shop in the city of Wiang Sa, which is, I don't know, half an hour away from where we live. And so that's not too bad. I can hop on a motorcycle in, half an hour, and I go once or twice a week. So I'm thinking about it, right? And I gotta say, her sister made some somtam. And you make it with different ingredients, but generally it's the same thing. You got green papaya, you got tomatoes, some chili peppers, green beans. What else did we have in it? You can put crab in it. You can put all kinds of things in it. But everything that she put in that somtam was right off the farm. We picked it right from the farm. I'm like, you can't beat this, man. Then we had some salmon. We got this big piece of salmon. It's, let me think here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 pieces of salmon. I mean, big pieces of salmon. Right, don't just use cloth bags. We can't use cloth bags to give away to people. Okay, they're giveaways. You wrap them around the product and give it to people. Nice try, but no cigar. Yeah, so anyway, it works out to a little more than a half a satang for each bag, instead of a little more than a third of a satang, which is a big jump. But anyway, I gotta say, man, we just ate so many foods, and I'm like, that's from the farm, that's from the farm, that's from the farm, that's from the farm, that's from the farm. Everything is pretty much from the farm. I'm having a treat today. Today's a cheat day. And I haven't had one of these in probably 2 years. Now, the thing that got me is that sometimes I'm sitting there eating and I thought, everything here was just grown on our farm. My wife said to me today, she said, why don't we build a bungalow? Now, she said it before, and I've said it before, but she said, why don't we go ahead and build a bungalow in the back? And I said, you mean in the back corner, the quietest corner of the lot? Why don't we build a bungalow? I said, all I need in that bungalow, I want air conditioning. I want it to be sealed so no bugs can get in, or minimal bugs. I want there to be a toilet, a TV, and the internet. I have 5G, and it works just fine. So I don't have to have internet there. And that's all we need. It can be a studio. I don't care. It doesn't matter. And that won't cost us very much to make it. So we may do that. And the other thing is that the chickens are coming in 8 days. We'll get the chickens. That means we have chickens, we have eggs. We're getting more fish. We're getting about 10,000, 2,500 fish. More. So we've got all kinds of stuff. And I mean, it's just wild how much. It's not that big of a farm. I mean, it's like, I don't know how many acres, 3 acres, 5 acres, something like that. And I didn't really plan on saying that. I didn't really plan on thinking that. But man, I sleep better down there. Peanuts. We got peanuts. We have peanuts growing on our farm, tomatoes and all this stuff. So that was in the summertime. And I'm thinking, why the hell am I? And I didn't spend that. I might have spent 200 or 300 baht a day on food and a bunch of other stuff. And that was it. I didn't spend much at all. The whole time down there, I might have spent 1,500 baht. That was a week. So I spent an average of about 200 baht a day. And everything is fresh, and it's quiet, and it's ours. So, listen, I'm an American in Bangkok. I'm an American and I'll always be an American, but I may not be an American in Bangkok all the time. Now, I have a theory about the coffee shops. The reason there's no coffee shop, actually, there are some coffee shops, but there are shops that have cold drinks like what I'm drinking, like bubble tea, like shit like that. That's what they have. And then they have an espresso, an Americano, cappuccino, mocha, cocoa, that kind of stuff. I don't want to open that kind of a thing up. Personally, I don't really want to work. I don't want to work hard. Now, a farm is hard work. I don't mind helping out a little bit. But everybody knows, first of all, I got some injuries that prevent me from doing some of the things. I'm not going to be lifting concrete bags over my head or on my shoulders. I just can't do it anymore. And it's not because I'm not strong enough. It's because my shoulders screwed up still. My hands, I can barely close my hands now because of the arthritis that I have, which means I'm getting old. So I don't know if anybody's thought about it. I know Jim lives out in Chayapum. I have lived in different places in Thailand, but not for a long time. I've lived in Bangkok for, I don't know, 25 years or so. So I'm just thinking, what would it look like for us to move to Sortani? More specifically, Wiang Sa. Let me see here. What is this? Smoothie shops. What are you going to do? Open it? No. Oh, I was thinking about when I go shopping, not what I get from small roadside vendors and kiosks. Well, to go shopping, like shopping, you got to go about 2 hours away, maybe 2.5. And, you know, there is not much that we can do about what's going on in Iran. And so I stay out of that. I don't want to think about it. And, you know, I just look at it. I hope things work out, and I don't think they are working out, but whatever. But we have to go about 2.5 hours away. If you go an hour or so, you can get to like maybe 45 minutes. You can get to Macro. You can get to 7-Eleven. You can get to, they have some home kind of shops where you can buy things, anything that you need to build on your property, you can buy. They have, and I have video, which I'll be putting up, of course. And I mean, they are huge. I mean, you're talking about, they have the front area, the showroom, and then in the back, they have all their stock. They have all the wood. They have all the tiles. They have everything that you need. You need a pump, they got 50 different kinds of pumps. They got their act together in the city there. The thing is that most of the places are commercial entities, such as a Home Pro or something like that, where you go in and you just say, well, I need a toilet, I need some wood paneling, I need some wire, I need PVC. That's what happens. Wiang Sa. Yeah, you know, we get plenty of social stimulation. We get too much social stimulation from the family members and from people who live in the area. You know, the family members come over, they work on the farm. The only thing is that it's so hot down there, and You know, I mean, the one thing is that the sister is there alone, and she has some people helping her. You know, they get paid a couple $100 a day, and we have to pay them if we want them to work, and they do. But sometimes it's just not enough for the sister because she's got so much stuff to do. I mean, we built a chicken coop. We got to build a fence around the chicken coop. We want to have it built up so that animals can't get in, and it's more protected. It's in the shade, and we want to do that with the fish farm. We're going to build it, make it wider. I'm not sure exactly how. You know, and we only have so much room. Really, we have so much room. We have pineapples. We have mangoes. We have papayas. We have chilies, we have tomatoes, we have coconuts, we have spinach, we have lettuce, green chili peppers, red chili peppers. You need so many things. I mean, we're going to put like 200 chickens in there. And if you figure out the math on that, which I have done, which, you know, I'll be paying for some of that at least. The return, it takes some time, but you'll get a return on your investment in all likelihood. Because any animal, there's always problems. 100 to 200. Countryside, better, cheaper. I don't know about better. Better is in the eye of the beholder. Cheaper, some things are definitely cheaper. Now, some things, they may be cheaper, but you're not getting what you're used to. Now, I want Greek yogurt. I know the Greek yogurt I want. But I went into Macro and they had Greek yogurt, but it's not the kind that I'm used to. And it sufficed, but it's not as good as the yogurt that I have. But I can deal with it. And what we usually do every time we go down to the farm, I mean, one of the first places we stop is Macro. I don't shop at Macro most of the time. I shop at Fresh Mart, Gourmet Market. Fresh Mart, Villa Market, Foodland, they are not the cheapest places to go. Now, sometimes I go down the street and go to the market, and they have like, chili, tomatoes, cucumbers, all kinds of, fruit and vegetable and meat. I don't buy the meat there. My wife will buy the shrimp. And I was like, oh, well, we should get some shrimp. Put a shrimp on it. And then I started looking at how much room it takes to make any money from a shrimp farm and not near the farm. It's about anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes away, depending on traffic. Lived in a city that's compromised with urban and rural. Yeah, you're not really living out in the, like a full-on village. You're kind of in between. Rice fields, sugar cane. Oh, we have sugar cane. We have peanuts. There's none of that stuff. You have to go into Surat City for any of that. And that's 2.5 hours away. You want to go to the airport, it's an hour away. So, anyway. We're thinking about it. But would you still live in a big city, or would you want to go live rural? Because that's the thing. We're thinking about it. We're going back and forth, and we're like, well, let's just go down there more often and build up the farms and you know, that kind of thing. Oh God, I'm not going to become Frank Perdue. I can tell you that. That's not going to happen. I just don't see that ever happening. Not with me. I don't ever get bit by mosquitoes. I don't personally. So I don't have to worry about that. However, there are a lot of bugs. And I ran into about 5 or 6, what are they called? Huntsman spiders. Let me see something. I want to see if they're the biggest spider in Thailand. Yeah, the giant huntsman. Often found in caves and known to reach up to 12 inches wide. So we have a number of these spiders around. I saw, okay, it was 6 spiders. I saw 3 of them outside and 3 of them inside, and they are big and they are poisonous. But they are not, they won't kill you. They'll make you feel uncomfortable for a day or two. That's what I read. So you don't want to get bit by them. But they're easy enough to avoid. And if you really want to, you smash them. And I don't smash them. I sweep them out. I swept all 3 of them out of the door. And just, that was good enough. I don't need to, to do anything else. I don't understand the name of the town. Okay? It's Wiangsa. Garb and Lazada deliver where you are. It all depends on your choice and adapt the living style. Well, I know that. I mean, I've been here a long time. I know exactly what to expect. I've been going down there for almost 30 years, for probably, I don't know, maybe 28 years. 28 years, as long as I've been with my wife, 28 years or so, I've been going down to Surat. And Grab, everybody delivers there. The problem is Grab doesn't pick up. And, I went on Grab. First of all, Bolt and InDriver do not show anything when you're there. It's all blacked out, grayed out. You can't try to get somebody to come pick you up. Grab, however, shows that people can pick you up, but nobody ever picks you up. So if you want to get anywhere, you need your own transportation. There's not even any Songtaos, there's no buses, there's nothing that comes through there. But they do deliver, because we had some deliveries made while we were there. I mean, we have 4 ponds for fish. 2 big ones, they're not that wide, but they're long. And two smaller ones that are kind of like holding pens. And if we want to sell fish, we might put 100 fish in there, and then people drive by and they go, oh, I need 5 kilos of this. Okay, and we weigh out the 5 kilos. We give them the fish. My wife knows about all the prices. Her sister knows about all the pricing and all that kind of stuff. I have a general idea, but that's about it. But it all adds up. I mean, I was sitting there one day, and we sold about 1,000 baht worth of stuff. And it was like, people just drive up on their motor. They're driving by, they stop. There's a sign up that says 20 baht, and some things are 20 baht, some things are 30, some are 10, but most of them are 20 baht. They go, oh, I want to get this fish. Okay, how many do you want? You walk back, you fill up a bag, you weigh it out, you weigh it in front of the people. Here you go. Okay, that'll be 300 baht. Now, that's pretty cool in itself. Now, I wouldn't be doing any of that stuff. I don't have to do any of that. I don't have to do much work. That's what I'll say. The work is maybe provide some money and some ideas and talk about how I've seen things done elsewhere. And that's pretty much about it. Because as a foreigner, you're not supposed to work. Now, we want to set it up to where the farm is actually a business on paper. And that takes it into a different realm. Because the idea is that you have to make money. If you don't have it on paper, it's a hobby, or it's just so that you're self-sufficient. But, you know, the thing is that if I was to live there, I mean, I left some stuff there. I left some clothes. I left stuff like razor and shaving cream and toothbrush and toothpaste and all that kind of stuff, underarm deodorant. I left all that stuff down there because I don't want to have to be bringing them back and forth. But you got to have a motorcycle or we have a motorcycle. We actually have two, but one is being used by her other sister. So we have one. But I would have to get a motorcycle license, insurance, which is not a problem. And then I'd have to figure out, okay, how long do I want to be here each time? We'd have to figure it out. The kids would have to stay. Alex he's got a job. He wants another job. He wants to find another job. I don't know where. Maybe he'll find a job. He'll find a job in Surat, but I don't really think so. Nicholas is still going to school here. He's got a year left, so he's going to have to be here. When he's out of school, like right now, he's got another 2 months off. I was telling him, why don't you just stay here and work the farm? He's like, I don't want to do that. So he doesn't really want to, work the farm. Now, he will, but he doesn't particularly, he's not going to volunteer. But even Alex could fly down here for 3-4 days, maybe once a month. He can do that. So, you know, I'm just wondering, like, okay, I know about me. I know about my wife. I know about my kids. But what about you guys? Would you split your time? Could you do that? You know. Could you? Would you? So the thing that you get there but you don't get here, you get more space. It's a lot more quiet. Although I will say that it's not as quiet sometimes as you might think, because like things like New Year's Songkran, oh God, it just, you know, people are singing, they're doing karaoke, and it's like, you got a farm, and if you want, you take out a couple big speakers, you turn them on, yeah, let's party. That's what people do. And you gotta just kind of get over it, you know? What is this? Wait a minute. I am from the city and moved to a rural area too. I'm kind of over it. Couldn't get anything delivered food-wise. I'm kind of over it. Well, you could here. Carry Express has us on speed dial. Insurance is minuscule. Wondering if the kids were ever interested in getting a motorcycle up in Bangkok. Not really. listen, my kids are more like, I'm going to get a Grab. I don't want my own motorcycle because they know the dangers. We had somebody in the family. Well, it was what was he? Uncle, I guess. He was an uncle. He's a young guy, and he was driving his motorcycle down the freeway, and he got hit by a car, and he went flying, and he hit the ground, and he was still alive, and he got up, and is like, a second after, bam, he got hit by a truck. That was the end of him. So they're not too gung-ho on the motorcycle thing. When they just go, I'll just get a car. My kids are a little, I hate to say it, but they're a little spoiled. Different people, different lifestyle. Well, that is always how it is. I'm considering splitting my time between a seaside community and here. Are you ready for Songkran? I'm always ready. I don't have a problem. Yeah, I don't have anything, like that. So, let me see this here. Yeah, like I said about the spiders. My God, man, some of them, one of them was like that big. It was huge. And I was like, well, I don't want to get bit by that thing. And, I'm like looking at him, and I'm like, is this thing looking at me? So you are slightly closer to udon. What is this? Than to Bangkok. Are you in marriage? No. Also, the yellow book worth getting. It depends. If you're going to stay here long term, it can be worth it. But it just depends. It can be very worthwhile. It can help if you need an address. It can help with your driver's licensing. Listen, I wanted to open up a Krung Sri, and they told me, first of all, it wasn't a golden orb. I know what it was. I took pictures and studied the characteristics. It's not a golden orb spider. And the bank told me, I said, no, I don't. They asked me, do you have a work permit? I said, no, I don't have a work permit. Why would I have a work permit when I'm retired? Oh, no, you can't get it. So I was like, that just made me, I kind of go, okay, no problem. I walked out, got on the phone, and called their head office, and I said, what's your policy on retired foreigners opening up bank accounts? And so they checked, and they said, okay, here's the deal. And so then they talked to the branch manager, and he had this girl who had told me no. She wrote everything down, and all I have to do is show them proof of my address, some kind of an ID from the United States, which I have a veterans card, my Veterans Administration card, and then your passport with the visa, and then they'll open the bank account. Now, even that, okay, whatever. But listen, I understand things are not as easy as they used to be. They're not going to make it as easy as they used to be. And that's just the way it is, because things are tightening up, because they don't want people to take advantage of the system. "4 hours to where Scott is sitting. Carada's the most. What type of coffee do you make at home?" Usually it's Pacamara coffee. The other day I got some from Surya Coffee, which is the place I was streaming from maybe 2 or 3 streams ago, where I was shooting outdoors. And that coffee, they didn't grind it fine enough for me, which is kind of a pain in the ass. Then the other one is Illy, and I get that right from here, and that's like 800 baht for a can. But the coffee is fantastic. I have a manual espresso maker, one of those Roke. Have ever been bit by a centipede? No, and I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna be bit by a centipede. I told, the thing is, I won't be bit by one unless maybe I sit down somewhere and I don't see them. And when I'm sitting on the toilet, the first thing I do when I get down that toilet, I just look down there and make sure that nothing's coming out of it. There's no snake coming out of the toilet, And then I'm like, you want to get shit on, go ahead. Come on out. Opening a bank account is not that easy compared to 10 years ago. I mean, I've already told this many times, but I got about 7 accounts here in Thailand, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in America. So I have 13 bank accounts. Do most restaurants there use soybean oil now? I don't know. I guess it depends on the restaurant. I don't usually eat out. Usually I eat at home, and I use olive oil. And tend to get a very nice, expensive olive oil. Now I'm getting it's like 1,500 baht or 1,000 baht for the olive oil, but I get like a kilo of it. Not a kilo, what is it? 1,000 milliliters or something like that. Instead of 500 milliliters, I'm getting a big can. I was fortunate my brother-in-law was the bank manager, and he opened the account for me. You got more than one account, right? You should. If you don't, you need to get another account. So anyway, what I was saying before, in Surat, there's a lot more space. I mean, it takes us 5 minutes to walk across the property. And that's not that long, but it's big enough. And we have some space that is not being used in between the palm trees and stuff like that. It's very quiet. There's no chaos. A lot of the food, like I said, comes right from our farm. The cost of living is lower. And you have a little bit better, little more control over your life. You wake up and basically you hear listen, I wake up at 4 o'clock. The sister wakes up at 4 o'clock. My wife wakes up around 5 or 6. Sometimes I just lay in bed for a half hour, an hour. And then I get up and I sit there and look outside. It's still kind of dark. All they had was instant coffee. So I got to bring a coffee maker down there the next time if I want real coffee, which I do. I don't like having instant coffee because it tastes like crap. But I have a coffee. I think one morning I had an Ovaltine. I look outside and you hear the birds and you see from one window, and I have some video and some photos of it. I'm going to put some photos up in the community tab, under the community tab. So if you go to the community tab, by tomorrow, the photos will be up. I'll have a whole bunch of photos. I mean, I don't know how many you can put up, but I'll put up 1 or 2 posts. Should be like 10 to 20 photos. But right outside of our window, you look outside the window, there's 20 papaya growing on a tree. That was on a Monday. On Thursday, we look out and the tree the papayas had grown so heavy, they were so big, that they pulled the tree and cracked the tree branch. So they'll more papaya will grow from that tree, but they were all on the ground. I was like, well, we got to pick them up. We got to use these. We got to sell these. So now that's another thing we're selling. Oh, we have green pumpkin, which is fantastic because the green pumpkin, we have green beans. Green beans, they're growing right next to the green pumpkins. The green pumpkins, I mean, some of them are like that big. We also have jackfruit and durian. But these green pumpkins, I mean, they're like 5, 10 kilos. They're huge. And they go for anywhere from about 10 baht to 50 baht. And you just line up 10 or 15 of them, and people just, oh, yeah, give me one of those. And they're using them all the time. So it's great. But, you know, you actually eat the food that you grow, and there's something really nice about that. It is a different kind of a life, you know. I got Yellow Book, resident, blah, 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 blah. Where am I? Okay, resident card comes in handy. When is it wise to scan pay? When is the wise? I think it's May 16th or May 19th. So next month it's supposed to start, which is fine with me. That's great to me because then that means I don't have to transfer as much money over here. Morning from the farm. How you doing there, Fire Dude? What kind of stuff are you growing on the farm there, Fire Dude? Yeah, I mean, I go to bed. Last night I fell asleep. Well, I mean, listen, I'll tell you something. I don't drink much, but my wife got this Senha gin, which I saw in the liquor department. She got a bottle of it. She's like, I don't know what we're going to do with this. And so then I went, oh, it's gin. So then I looked it up and I went, oh, I'll make a gimlet. Oh, that's another thing. We have limes. So I purposely brought back a handful of limes, put them in my bag. You know, I had red ants like lime trees. So you have to make sure that you wipe them all off. You don't have any ants because I got bit by maybe 10 or 15 of them. We take the limes and then I put them in my backpack. And I brought them back. Then you cut them open. You use lime juice, fresh lime juice. You use simple syrup, which is just water and some sugar. And you kind of heat up the sugar and all that. It's like, I used like a half a cup. And it made maybe like this much. And then you use gin. What is it? Gin, lime, and simple syrup. I think that's it. And then you shake it up. And then you pour. So I had 2 of those yesterday. It was like 5 ounces of gin, like 5 shots. And I fell asleep at like 8 o'clock, man. I was knocked out. I think the immigration makes it more difficult for expats to stay long term if your economy don't meet the new standards. I don't. Listen, they haven't raised the price of the retirement visa, marriage visa. They're not raising the price. They're making it easier with the DTV and the LTR and, you know, all these different things. The only thing is the elite visa is costly. But I don't see how it's getting more difficult. Now, they may check things a little more stringently. But so, what does that matter? Since when has it been a foregone conclusion that you're allowed in a country and you get to stay there and, you know, oh, well, it should be so easy. I mean, you think about getting into the United States. I mean, sometimes the people crossing illegally get in easy. I mean, but my wife had to do all kinds of paperwork just to get her visa. I think soy is worse. Not sure though. Yeah, we don't use any soy, anything like that. I don't think we even have any butter right now, but we need some. And I thought about getting some ghee. I don't know why, but anyway. Yeah, you got to get a second account, Jim. You definitely need that. And I would make sure it's not in Bangkok Bank. Will you be trucking product from the farm as the farm grows? I mean, as the farm grows, well, we already truck out some things. We have a pretty big Ford truck that we bring out the Dorian, and there's a few other things that we do. We bring out things like pomelo and what was the jackfruit. But sometimes they'll come and pick things up, like, you know, we were talking about the fish and what it takes. It's you need a couple thousand, you need maybe $3,000-4,000 for the fish. For our next shipment of fish, plus the feed and everything like that, it's $3,000-4,000. And then I was like, okay, so what do you do after that? She said, oh, well, then you've got to sell it. I said, well, then, okay, so who's going to buy it? She goes, well, you got to sell it, and if you sell like 2,500 fish, and I said, no. What I want to know is, how are you going to get that fish to the place you need it to go? Do you keep it in water, or are they all dead? She's like, no, they come pick it up and suck it out right out of the water. So that's how they do that. Now, I don't know all the other intricacies, but how strict are Jesus Christ, I'm getting all kinds of questions today. How strict are the airline? Please do me a favor and leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you like the live stream. And, you know, down below in the description, there's the join button. There's what else do I have in here? You can get a consultation. Write me at an American in Bangkok at gmail.com. We got Patreon. We got the Cash App. You can become a sponsor by clicking the join button. You can get any of the American in Bangkok merchandise. Yeah, whatever. You can use Wise. There's a plethora. A plethora of ways that you can help. You can watch. There's a plethora of ways that you can help support the channel. How strict are the airlines with personal size? Well, my kid had a bag and it was 7.6 kilos and they let it on. It was no problem. I had a backpack. They don't even weigh it. They say don't have any power banks anymore on Air, I think it's Air Asia, which unfortunately is what we flew. But, you know, the thing with Air Asia is, what I've always found is, 2 times, and it's been years, they were not very good to me. And my options were limited, and I had to bitch and moan to get things taken care of. And they eventually took care of everything. And so any time from the past few years ago, they've always been pretty good. I mean, our flights were very good. And they didn't bitch and moan about the stuff that we had. And we're not trying to carry on, you know, anything excessive, but they were very good. My wife got some food. Nicholas got some food and a drink, and, you know, they were happy. God, when you transfer money from using Wise to the U.S. to Thailand, do you just use Wise to send from the U.S. account to the Thai account? Or do you first trade it to Wise, then convert it and send it? I don't understand. Let me see here. When you transfer Wise, money using Wise from U.S. to Thailand, you just use Wise to send it from the U.S. account to the Thai account. Oh. Usually, I don't even have to transfer money, really, anymore. Well, I get paid, and I get paid direct into Wise. But on, I think, one occasion, every month, I use Wise, and I say, put the money in my account, and it puts it into my U.S. account because that's where I want it to go. And then I may keep some U.S. dollars, and I may transfer to other U.S. banks, and it's instantaneous. So maybe I transfer $500 to one account, $250 to another, and then maybe I have $1,500 left over, and I transfer that into my Thai Wise account, so that everything that I'm buying with Wise, if I'm using my Wise card, it comes out of the Thai account, and they charge me exactly, which will be the same thing with the QR code. So if I come here and I want to buy an espresso, a hot espresso, it's 105 baht. They'll just take it out and it'll be 105 baht will come out. Whereas if you're taking it out of the US account, then they do the transfer and all that other stuff, and it might cost you a little bit more. Every citrus possible, mulberries, every fruit tree in Thailand. We have 2 different gardens, herbs in one and veggie chilies in others. Tons of huge papaya, mangoes, jackfruit, everything. Yeah, I don't know about the mulberry. I don't think we have any of those. Oh, we have purple zucchini. We have that. We have, like I said, we have pineapple. I was like, oh, there's a pineapple. Oh, we have 1 pineapple. Then I started looking around. I go, oh, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had like 15 pineapple growing. I was like, and it's a little patch. I was like, holy moly. What is this? Catfish, 3 packs of eggs a day. I don't eat catfish. I don't like them. When I was in China, they let me open bank accounts with just a tourist fee. Well, that's how it used to be, but that's not how it is anymore. I mean, what are you going to do? And what can you say? Do you really need a bank account as a tourist here? No, you don't. In my opinion, you don't. Bring cash, use the ATM, or maybe even American Express traveler's checks or whatever. But you don't need it. You don't have to have it. It's not a must. I have it all on my YouTube. Oh, I didn't know that. I'll have to check it out here. How do I do this? Oh, okay, here you are. Isan House. Oh, there you are. You got chickens? I didn't know about the red ants liking limes. Our lime tree fell down and I removed it. No ants in that any area. Well, they seem to. They built an ant's nest on both lime trees that I saw. So, I mean, you know, there's so much stuff growing. I mean, there's stuff next to the water. I don't even go over there. You know, I don't pack the power bank. What I'm saying is, you're not even allowed technically to bring it on the carry-on anymore. You're not allowed to do that, supposedly, on Air Asia. Fire Twins are almost a year old already. Wow, time flies, man. It is quicker transfer. I go from Wise to the Thai bank. My transfers are always like instantaneous. It'll say, you're going to have your account in seconds, and then boom, I get a message and it says, your money's been transferred. Then I look in my account, it's there. As long as it takes me to look in the account, the money's already there. So Wise is very good. And the more you use a bank account, then it becomes more, I guess, like trusted. Because if I try to transfer to Siam Commercial, it might take 2 or 3 days. If I try to transfer to Kasikorn, now this may be because it's Kasikorn, not SEB, I don't know. Good. Thailand is adapting crypto and technology forward. Most countries are making banking more difficult to the risk and scamming banks, sell providers. Oh, God. Listen, I stay out of that stuff. I don't want anything to do with any relationship shit in our family. She had a guy there a couple trips ago, and he was all right, but I thought he was a bit lazy, and he was from the scoop that I got, he was very jealous. So she would be talking to, say, a family member, like, somebody like an aunt or an uncle or something like that, and he would get jealous. And she's like, he's jealous for what? I mean, first of all, she's busting her ass on the farm all the time. She likes to work. She's like, I like to do that. And then I see, oh, I made 800 baht. Oh, I made, we're going to make 3,000 baht. We're going to make money from, oh, and she loves that, which I like it too. It's nice to see, you just go, oh, wow, that came out of the ground. Here you go. Oh, thank you. That's 1,000 baht. But he was always laying in the hammock, and then he would expect her to be, like taking care of him and stuff. And I go, why did you come here? Because he didn't have to come to Thailand. He had lived somewhere else before. And, I don't know what the deal was with him. I really don't know. I only talked to him for a couple days, and I didn't like it that he was there because, it's like when I go with her and my wife, I always sit in the front because I'm the elder. I always sit in the front. And he's there, and it's like, let him sit in the front because she's got to talk to him. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. It's not like, I'm not getting upset about it. But I think about it and I go, this motherfucker comes in, he barely knows her for, he might know her from online for a month. And he knows her for like a week. Then he took her on a trip to Vietnam or something. I don't know the whole truth, the whole story. He was a Farang. And I was like, I don't know if I like this, man. But, it's her life. And so I don't say anything because it's her life. And, what she told me, she go, listen, he's always jealous about everybody. And she's like, what is he jealous about? And, she's not exactly, a beauty queen. I think she's like 53, 52 years old. So, it's like, come on, man. I don't remember. I don't remember where the guy's from. He's from the U.S., and that's... now, the one thing is that you got to remember what you're going to lose, and you're going to lose convenience. Food variety is going to be something that you might have problems with. Hospitals, because like right here, we have a hospital right down the street. It's 5-10 minutes away. The infrastructure, generally the infrastructure is pretty good where we are. They've started to pave most of the roads. And, there's a market right across the street, and, they sell all kinds of stuff. They'd be selling eggs too. So, and, there's more to do here in Bangkok, but like really, I don't feel the need to go and be a tourist. I don't even really want to go out and shoot photos anymore. And that's something I used to always do. I used to make money from photography. And there were a couple of months I made a lot of money. And I was like, wow, this is fantastic. I love doing this. I travel all over the world because of it. Here comes the procession. Everybody comes marching in. I always try to not come in first, even though I'm here in the coffee shop first. But what I mean is when I'm coming to the grocery, I don't want to come right when they open. Now, I have to say, I don't want to sound like a snob or anything, but Pacamara seems to have fallen off. And I don't mean the quality has dropped or anything like that, but first of all, they've changed their employees. There's the turnover rate lately has been, they work for a month and then they're gone. Which, I kind of expect that. But before it was, they had their group for like years, 2 years. They had their group of people and everybody was happy. Now it's like, they got some new guy, some new girl, and then boom, 2 weeks later, the guy's gone. 3 weeks later, the girl is gone. Which, whatever. But not only that, I think for the money, there are other places that are better than they are. And I've been to a lot of coffee shops. And that's the thing about in Suratani. There are some little coffee shops. Even in Wiang Sa, there are some little coffee shops, but generally they're selling Cafe Baran, which is just, they're using the bag and they put the cream in it and all that other kind of stuff. Yeah, it's too bad they're gone, but, whatever. And that coffee is not something I want to drink all the time. And I don't want to go into 7-Eleven and drink 7-Eleven coffee unless it's in a pinch. I hate to say it, but I am more of a refined coffee drinker. I like to drink really good coffee. I don't want to drink crappy coffee. And I went into a place right next to the market. I said, oh, wow, something cafe or whatever it was, Bao Cafe or something like that. I go, oh, we got to go in there, Alex. So Alex and I walk in there. I was filming it. We go in and, the girl was kind of like shy to talk to me. And I just started speaking Thai to her and she goes, oh. Then she made me my cappuccino and it was, I'll just say I drank half of it and I threw the rest away. Paper cup, the whole works. And I just thought it was not very good. And then I don't think I went to another coffee shop. And then I went to this place called Cuppa Coffee. We were at this, like a Home Pro type place. And I thought, they're going to be a while. They're getting concrete and tiles and they're getting rice husks for the chicken coop. So I ran across the street. Took me like 5 minutes to get there, 5 minutes to get back, and I spent like 10 minutes there. And I go, this place is all right, man. They made a great coffee. I was like, wow, this place is awesome. Then Alex and I, we had to go back to that same place and get a bunch of stuff. And Alex and I decided to make a little trip across the street. So we went across the street, went again. And he had like a frappe kind of a drink. Fantastic. And I just thought this is the best place that I've had in all of Suratani, to be honest. It was fantastic. Really good place. They need more places like that. And, I think, oh, yeah, well, I'll open that up. But you know how much work that is? You're going to have to train somebody or two people to be in the place and to run the place. And they're going to have to deal with grab orders. And then you're going to have nice machines. The machines are going to need to be serviced. You're going to need the coffee. You're going to need to make sure the price of coffee stays stable. Are you going to be able to bring the coffee in from out of the country? Or what are you doing? Where are you getting your coffee? Then you got to make all the other little frappes and, chocolate drinks. And you got to get the little croissant kind of meals and stuff like. And I'm like, it's just too much work. It's too much work. What am I going to do? I'm going to make $2,000 a month? It's too much work. So it can get boring. And there were a couple of times when I was laying there and I thought, what do I feel like doing? And you know what I did? I just read a book. So I'm wondering, how long could you stay somewhere that rural before you started going stir crazy? Because some people would go nuts. And, I told the wife, I said, listen, you need to get these cats out of here. These cats got to stay outside from now on. Now, I don't know if they're going to. because I don't really mean it, but I would like it because one of the cats is constantly meowing, and she's been fixed. And down in the south, I forget who said it, but somebody goes, oh yeah, you got palm trees, that brings rats. And I go, you ain't gonna have rats around here, pal. We got 9 cats. There's 9 cats running around the farm. Now, I don't particularly like them, but I don't like rats, so they can stay. But they're outdoor cats. They don't come inside. If they do, they come inside and you kick them out, and that's it. And they go. So what the real question is it freedom being in a place like that, or is it what is it to people? Is it freedom or is it boredom? I'm having a problem with my laptop lately. I'm going to need to buy a new laptop pretty soon, which really sucks. Yeah, beer is not working in coffee anymore. I hate to tell you that. I don't know about Preo. I don't think she is either. And as far as the Swenson girls, yeah, they can be kind of cute. They used to have some real cute Swenson girls working here. And this is maybe a year ago. Now, most of them they're lacking. That's what I'll say. They're severely lacking. I ordered 3 kilos of coffee off Facebook, satisfied. Well, apparently one of the cats got beat up by a dog. It didn't get off the farm. The dogs know not to come onto the farm because they'll get shooed off and they'll get, Freedom versus boredom, that's the real question. What do you think? Because, a lot of times, it's like if you romanticize, thank you, Jim. Thank you very much. You are the one and only so far today, and I appreciate it. This is going to go towards the new computer. Because this thing is just starting to just shut off by itself. And apparently what it is it needs some servicing. I'm going to have to bring it in for servicing, and that's going to cost me $150 or $200. Yeah, cane Corsos are not to be played with, man. Give Jim a thumbs up. Appreciate it, Jim. The one guy who contributes on a regular basis. I think, Jim, you and Billy are the people who have been with the channel the longest. You guys are like within 1 month of each other. There is a turnover also. There's a lot of people, newer people in the stream even now. And, they don't know about certain people that used to be on or whatever. Well, now we gotta... What is this guy doing? Is this deaf talk? Oh yeah, it looks like they're all deaf. Been a while since I hooked you up. Oh, well, thank you. All right, let me see this here. I mean, that's the thing. Sometimes it's quiet down there, and it's like almost too quiet. We don't have a TV in the house. There is no TV. I don't know why. But, I brought my laptop. My wife has her laptop. We can watch the laptop. But if we build a house in the back, that's a different story. I'll make sure we have a TV. You got to have one. And, you know, I kind of figure most people don't want true freedom. What they want is a distraction from their life. Thank you very much, RetroArc. Give him a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. Don't waste your money servicing that old Mac. Just buy a new one. Once you get a new one, you will think, what the heck didn't I do this? They're so much better. Finally figured out that I need to pause my VPN in order to send you money. Yes, most of the time, super chats were blocked, I remember. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with the super. I mean, maybe I should figure it out, but I don't really know. It's not like most of the time I get so much, so many donations that I'm like, yeah, I'm getting wealthy off this stuff. I better know what's going on. I'm not. No TV and Wi-Fi makes Jack a dull boy. Well, I don't need Wi-Fi because I got 5G, and I got plenty of it. So I still have the internet, and the internet is quite fast, but no TV. And I don't really care. I like not having a TV. You know, people are more focused. You know, they're not as... My Bull Mastiff is very sweet. If we invite you in, if you jump the fence, run. Yeah. I used to have a German Shepherd, and that's exactly how he was. If I brought you in, he was the sweetest. He was just a big old teddy bear. But if you jumped in, he would rip you apart. I bought a 65-inch TV. Yai's TV broke. I went to buy her a new one and decided to upgrade my TV as well. Hey, thank you, Bruce. Appreciate that. Thumbs up, top, yes. Don't know if you saw today that Tyson Fury fought again. And I mean, if you're coming from my era in boxing and you watch him, now granted, some of his fights like with Deontay Wilder and with Usyk and stuff like that, they're good fights. He did all right with this guy, but I just don't think he quite has what he used to. I think Anthony Joshua would absolutely destroy him. But I'm talking about when I was growing up, man, it was the 70s and 80s and 90s. You know, Duran, Leonard, Hearns, Mugabe, Tyson, Ali, you know, all these guys that were really great fighters. Now there are good fighters who are out to make a buck. And, you know, I'm listening and you got these chicks. They're the ones who are announcing and doing play-by-play a little bit and stuff. Okay, Andre Ward, he's pretty good. David Hay, all right, you got the British angle, okay. The other guy, Mauro Ranello, he was good in MMA. I don't particularly like him in boxing. So, I woke up early in the morning, like 1:30, and I was like, oh, the fight's on. I turn on the fights, and I'm watching the fights, and I'm just like, why am I awake for this garbage? And Fury won by a decision, but the guy he was fighting was just he was a meatbag who could punch a little bit, you know. My TV broke up. I got 77 on a cheap Mega one-day sale. It's great. I'm in the process of renovating my living room. New windows painted on a TV was part of the plan. Yeah, well, I don't know. We got like a 50-inch TV, something like that. I don't know exact. 42, 50, something like that. It went out one day, a couple of months ago, and I'm thinking to myself, what's the deal? We're going to have to buy another friggin' TV. Every 3-4 years, you got to buy another TV. I'm like, this is bullshit. So we brought it to a Panasonic dealer, a repairman. It was the authorized Panasonic repairman, which was in a townhouse. It's like it was out in the middle of all these townhouses. And he had a townhouse, and it just said on the front, Panasonic. So we brought it into him, and the guy was fantastic. He was Absolutely the best. Oh, yeah, I know what this is. It'll be done tomorrow. Okay. So we left, and it was, an hour away to get to the guy. And the next day, like, he said, oh, it'll be ready by 3 o'clock or something. It was ready at like 11. And he's like, okay, it's done. Wow, okay, let's go right now. So me and Nicholas went out and picked it up. All I want for Christmas is an old CRT TV so I can retro game. I don't game anymore. I mean, I did when it was Nintendo with, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and when it was, what is it, Galaga? Pac-Man and all those. I mean, I used to have all those games. But anyway, that stuff. I did say to the wife, I said, if we're going to live out here, we really need a TV, and we need like a Sony PlayStation. Now the thing is, obviously, I got a wife, we got kids, and I don't know exactly what that means with us living down there, but I don't think it's a full-time endeavor because we've got them to consider. And Alex can take care of himself. He's got money. He's all right. He can take care of himself. Nicholas, not so much. He can take care of himself, but we want to be around him a little bit more. Alex, he's fine. Unfortunately, my life is not always my life in the sense on TVs in the States like 10 years ago, but started selling them again about a year ago. My Samsung TVs have lasted for age. Well, I had a Samsung before Panasonic, and it took a shit, and then they said to me, we can't do anything. Once this thing is done, it's done. It's the motherboard. We can't fix it. So that was it. Oh my God. Gunsmoke and Bonanza there without the TV. Okay. Your name isn't Billy, is it? I can watch it very easily because I have 2 Fire Sticks. I also have Netflix and YouTube, but the Fire Sticks, I can watch Bonanza, Gunsmoke very, very easily. DTVs are designed to last about 5 years. Well, that's what they seem to last, is about 5 years. The thing is about money. I was talking about how much money I was spending down in the South. If I was YouTubing down there and stuff like that, I would still need a little bit of money for certain things and, equipment and things like that. And I would probably be putting things up about, we're making this, or we're making that, or whatever. But the price drops. We don't pay any rent. We buy food, but we wouldn't buy as much. I mean, when we buy food, we tend to spend a lot. Like, we'll buy, like I said, 1,000 milliliters of olive oil. Well, that might be 1,000, I think it's 1,058 baht. So we'll buy more. We'll buy eggs, and we'll buy 30 or 60. Last time we bought 60 eggs. Now, we don't need eggs now. When the chickens come, they'll be producing eggs. We won't need eggs. We don't need any vegetables. So we would save money, but then we'd have to go and, if I had a motorcycle or I just started driving a motorcycle, then there's the initial, license and insurance and stuff like that. But other than that, maybe I'd pay for a little bit for gas to get back and forth to the city, and that's about it. So I wouldn't spend nearly as much. a Fire Stick, all hockey and NFL games. But yeah, I mean, they are available. I just don't watch them most of the time. High volume freezer is next on the wish list. Yeah, that's something. We have 2 refrigerators, which gives us 2 freezers, and that's barely enough. We need a full-on, what do they call them? You know, they open from the top. What do they call them? Chest freezer, top opening chest freezer, a deep freezer. Yeah, that's what they call them. After 5 years, TVs are outdated anywhere. Well, all that doesn't matter. I don't care if they're outdated. If they still play the shows that are on TV, that's all that matters. That's why I still, listen, my laptop is 15 years old. If I put in 5,000-6,000 baht to this thing, it'll last me another 3 years. Instead of going and spending 50,000 baht on another computer, which I don't really care. I mean, yeah, okay, I know I need one and I want to get one, but man, I like to use the hell out of everything I have until it falls apart, and then I get something. Belonged to a small Facebook group of former Hollywood producers and actors in the 80s. All these guys do is trade digitized old TV shows and movies. I can get anything. Yeah, okay, yeah, my TV's now around 5 years old. I'll be seeing shit soon as I guess. Not a biggie, though. TVs are pretty cheap. And, I'll be honest. We don't have a TV down in the South right now, and did I miss it when I was down there? I mean, maybe I could have watched the show once or twice when I was down there, but I don't really miss it. And, I'm somebody who grew up watching TV. It was 3 channels and, ABC, NBC, and CBS. That's all there was. And, all my own pop volume. I need a place to store all my food. Yeah. I just don't feel the need. I'd rather read a book now than watch TV. I don't know. Maybe I've seen the same stories told over and over again. It's got to be a really good movie for me to watch it. The kids brought me to a movie a couple months ago. I think it was 28 Days Later, and I just was like, this is a weird movie. I didn't really like it. It was okay, I'm like, yeah, What are you going to do? Anyway, we're not going to move tomorrow. We're not moving overnight. But it's just something that we're definitely giving some serious consideration. But it's not just something we're thinking about. Oh, well, we're going to do this in the future. No, we're going to do something. Whether it's just go down there more often. Usually we go once or twice a year. I think now maybe we're going to go every 2 or 3 months at least. Maybe even more than that. If Nicholas has time off from school, if Alex can get, a little bit of time off or something, then we'll go down there for like a week or 2, and we'll actually do things on the farm that make it better. Because it is generating a fair bit of money. And when those durian trees come in, yeah, that's going to be pretty wild. And then, things like we got the rice husks, which you got to buy every about 3 months or so. And the chickens, the chickens shit there. Well, now you take those rice husks and you put them around the durian trees, and you put them and you use them as fertilizer, and you don't have to buy the fertilizer. You might have to buy some, but you don't have to buy as much. So you're saving on money. And we're growing corn. And that's the thing. We can use the corn and feed the chickens, and then the scraps of food and the scraps of certain vegetables and banana peels and banana leaves and stuff like that. They'll eat all that stuff. But, you know, the bottom line is I do like the farm-to-mouth lifestyle. Yeah, I got Netflix too, and, you know, sometimes I binge watch some stuff. I mean, I watched this, probably the last couple days I've been watching, maybe the last week, I've been watching this show called Flaked. It's only 2 seasons, which that always surprises me. And I kind of like the show. I wouldn't say it's a great show, but it's decent. And I watched it a long time ago, and I thought, I haven't seen it while I'll watch it again. I watched it again. It's like 14 episodes. That's it. Flaked. And that was it, you know. And I watched it and finished it up, and I was like, all right, well, now what? You know, I mean, I watched Ripley. I watched, you know, things like that, but I was never a big TV watcher. I find it better watching YouTube on a big TV. I don't like watching YouTube, to be honest. I don't watch much YouTube. I get using the heck out of things. I use a 7-year-old phone, but I upgraded my Mac, da-da-da-da-da. The difference is ridiculous, like rendering a 10-minute video takes less than a minute. I'm going to have to get one, but we'll see. Find when I'm in Thailand, particularly down south in Nakhon, Thais normally cook fresh ingredients and store uneaten food in a cupboard and reheat in a freezer. Rarely used. Oh, I don't know. We use our freezer. We use our freezer, but they tend to leave food out. And I'll be like, no, we need to put this in the refrigerator. And I get on them about certain foods. You need to put this in the refrigerator. But they do leave some things out. I mean, you know, they use a wok, they use a pan, they use all kinds of things to cook with. And we got a gas stove and a wok, an electric wok. We got a rice steamer. We got everything you need. We got air fryer. We got, you name it, man. We got it. Which is what's great also. You know, it's not only our stuff. It's her mother's farm. Her mother has passed away now. And the mother left it to her. And so everything that was usable is still usable. That's still usable, she uses. You know, my wife always orders more than she can eat. When we eat out, the neighborhood dogs love us. Yeah, we don't really eat out all that often because I don't know what they're cooking. I don't know what they're cooking it in, or, you know, once in a while we'll get a pizza or something like that. And the wife might get she might get some fried rice or something. And I'm like, why don't you just make it? Because I'm tired. I don't feel like doing it, you know. Oh, air fryers are the bomb. They are the bomb. I mean, I've got all kinds of food. I've cooked a lamb meatloaf in the air fryer. And I have another thing I'm probably gonna cook in the next week, and that's, you get some ground lamb, you cook it up, you put it in the middle, you get cucumbers, tomatoes, hummus, a little Greek yogurt with some dill, and I think something else. You get a couple things, and you put it all around that, and then you just sit there and you eat everything, and you mix it up. Oh, you get like pita bread or whatever. So, now, you know, some things you just can't get off of a farm, and that's what the bummer is. But for the most part, living down there is not off the table. It is, if we want to live there, we can live there. So it really depends. And, you know, it also depends on my wife and her job, what happens with her, and she doesn't really know what's going on. They tell her last minute, you know, and so she's got to do what she's got to do. But she does have the advantage of being able to work from home maybe 50% of the time. So that's great. Would you leave Bangkok for this kind of a lifestyle? Could you live this sort of life? And or do you need the city? What is it that you need? What would you do? That's what I kind of wonder about, because you don't really need Bangkok as much as you think. Most people are just used to it and used to the conveniences. Freedom and boredom kind of lie next to each other. They're closer than most people realize. That's something else to think about. And the best life is not generally about your location. It's about how you really want to live and how you're set up to live. If you're all set up with everything, it doesn't really matter. Everything doesn't really matter, you know? Wife always orders. What is this? Bitmonger, F4, surprise, got the M4. Is there a permanent stream on the property? No, there's not. Another big perk is to clean up. Air fryer so quick and easy. Yes. I thought about putting a permanent stream up on the grounds, but like for what? Would it make any money? I'm not going to put it up if it's not making any money. Why would I do that? I mean, I could put up a permanent stream of the chicken farm. I could put up a permanent stream of the fish. I could put up a permanent stream of, where animals could come in so people could see what's going on. I mean, there's all kinds of things. I could put up, when you're selling in the morning, I could put up a live stream of people driving up and buying fish and buying fruit and vegetables from us, Oh, that kind of a stream. Oh my God. He wants to watch me on my porch all day with devil's lettuce. It's right next to the property, and it's not a stream. It's kind of like a really big canal. It's a canal, I would say. It's a canal, and then it leads to a couple of ponds, and there's plenty of water. There's a well underground that we tap into. I mean, we put in, we have a well on our property. We also have numerous pumps that pump water to where we need it. We got a sprinkler system. We got all kinds of things so that everything is watered when we want it watered. And what we did was we put up 3 sprinklers on top of the roof because it was getting so hot. So what you do is you turn the water on, and the water is sprinkled by the sprinkler system on top of the house, and the water runs down the house and runs down the front part of the house. Then it kind of sits there and slowly goes down the other way on the other part of the house. So it cools down the house, and it's noticeable. I mean, really noticeable. We're sitting in the front porch, and we're all joking about it's raining, and the next thing you know, you hear all the, you see the water coming down, you hear the water on top of the roof, and all of a sudden you start feeling cool air coming out. I mean, that was fantastic. And we turned it on. We turn it on before we go to bed, and then when it starts getting hot early in the day, like maybe 11 o'clock to like 2 or 3 o'clock. And it really, I'd never heard about a sprinkler system on top of the house. But it really works well, man. It really worked well. So anyway, thank you very much, everybody. Until next time, I think. I don't know. And I'm thinking about this because my wife and I were talking about the cost of everything, and we're talking about how much it's going to cost for the next batch of chickens, how much for the fish. I mean, we're looking at about $5,000 US. And then, you know, if you earn that back in the first year, I mean, you can earn it back in the first year. You could double your money pretty easily in the first year. But the fish, some of the fish are gone. They're all gone in the first 3 months. You know, and some of the chicken, they're all gone. After a couple of months, man, that's it. You know. Paint the roof with hydrated lime. Never heard of that. Walked up the hill, you could see the road becomes a waterway when it pours. I don't know what hill I was walking up. You mean farther down the street? I don't think there's any hills right around us. Other than maybe into the pond. But farther down, and that's another thing, is the flooding. We were talking about flooding and how flooding could wipe your fish stocks out. So we have to put something around the fish pond to save from flooding. We have to put some bricks up or, you know, something around there so that it's protected. Same thing with the chicken. So, you know, we got a lot of stuff. This is an ongoing project. And, you know, I had my kids go out there 2-3 days. They went out for about 45 minutes each day and just picked up garbage. And we got like 5 bags of garbage. I mean, really big, you know, 40-inch bags full of garbage. So, you know, in time, I'm hoping that we'll be able to clean it up quite a bit, make it a lot better. Yeah, just build mounds around it, and the water will wipe that right out. Well, it works great where we are, and that's a good thing. Humidity has been about 45% the whole time that we were there, which is not that high, quite frankly, but it's been very hot, and that's the other thing. We have to cover everything up, like cover the fish ponds up, so that the fish don't get too hot, and, you know, fortunately the chicken are in an area where there's a lot of shade, and that chicken coop is big. She made it pretty big, and she can always add on to it, which is fantastic. You know, it's great. So anyway, you know, it's a nice thing. It's coming along. We're thinking about it. It provides another option for us, and that's what we're thinking about. The Oz Ponds channel. Okay, I will do that. I will check that out. I didn't say that we're moving down there. I said we're considering it, and we may start out where we just start going down there a lot more often, a lot more than we do now, which is once or twice a year. We may start going down there maybe 6 times a year and stay there for a week or 2 weeks, something like that. I don't know yet. We may just go down for a month, come back for 2 months, then go for a month. I don't know. We have to talk about that. Right now we're talking about the finances of making myself a bungalow that fits my specifications, and then also adding more fish and making sure we have plenty of money for the feed and all that kind of stuff, because that's really what cost all the money. That's what cost all the money with chickens, is the feed, and then the rice husks that we use to absorb the shit and the piss, and, you know. And I am glad that that thing is far away from the house, but I want it to be far away from wherever our house is, our new little places. So, you know, if we make a studio or a one bedroom, I want it to be away because I don't want to smell that. That's why I don't want a pig farm, because I just don't want it to, I don't want to smell it, you know. But yeah, farmers never dispose of anything. And that's the whole thing. If we're not selling it, we're eating it. And if we're not eating it, we're using it for something else, you know. Oh no, I haven't forgotten about the beach. Not at all. And in fact, when I was down there, I know there's a place, and it's about an hour away, and that's fine with me. So I don't know. I'm going to have to check that out. That's something that we have to check out. But it may be a two or three places that we end up moving around to. I may not live in Bangkok. I may come to Bangkok for a week every 4 months. I don't know. I may stay down on the beach for a month, and my wife will be with me, and then we'll go to Suratani, and then I'll come back to Bangkok, and she'll go to Phuket or come back to Bangkok and work. I don't know. And we just have to see how it plays out. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Thank you very much for joining me. And I don't know, Wednesday maybe I'll stream again. I don't know yet. And that's the thing. I like to keep it a little bit, you know, if I feel like streaming, I'm going to stream. Usually I wake up and I go, yeah, I'll stream. But every once in a while I go, you know what? No, I don't want to. 1 or 2 times a week is fine. So anyway, yes, Jim, take it easy. Bitcoin or Bitmonger, take it easy. RetroArch. Thank you, Jim, for the donation. RetroArch, you too, and also Bruce G. Appreciate all that. And thanks to all the other people who contribute to my channel and make everything possible. I appreciate it. And I will talk to you all later. Yeah, why don't I start a Cobra farm? Oh, yeah. That sounds fantastic. Maybe because I don't want to be around snakes if I don't have to be. And there are cobras on our property every once in a great while, supposedly. I haven't seen any. But if you know anything about cobras, you don't fuck with them. People who fuck with cobras die. I don't fuck with them. If anything, I'd get a long stick and push them away and put them on somebody else's property. That's how it goes. Anyway, I don't need that kind of stress in my life. Ow. I don't need that stress. Okay? There we go. All right, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you all. Appreciate it. And I'm not going to Swenson's. Why would I go to Swenson's? Anyway, it's time to go. I got to go. See you later.